Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Wednesday's Reflexology Wisdom. And today we have my very good friend, Michelle Stringer, in the house. Michelle
Hello.
is the head of training at the AoR, and she has come up with a brilliant, cunning plan when it comes to what we say about conditions in publications, our websites, and how we should describe things. So, Michelle, thank you so much for joining us,
Thank you for having me.
and I'm super excited to hear. Um, it's one of these things, and I know that you burst out with laughter when I said about this. And guys, if I was able to right now, I would have in the background music from Bananarama where they were singing that. What was the song that they sung?
Not
It's not
what you do.
it's
Yeah,
the
it's
way
not
that
what
you
you do,
do it.
it's how
That's
you
right.
do it.
Not what you do, it's the way that you do it. I think I can just about get away with actually singing it. I do apologize to everybody listening. But Michelle, what are we calling this episode?
This is not what you say, it's the way that you say it.
Absolutely. So, take it away, Michelle. You've got some brilliant ideas as to how we can still say what we kind of want to say, but without falling the wrong side of the guidelines.
Indeed. So the ASA is something that you will hear the AOR harp on about all the time. And one thing that I will caveat probably throughout this video is that it is your business is your business. So your choices are your choices and your risks are your risks. Um, the ASA, as I'm sure you've talked about in other videos, but I'll just sort of general recap. The ASA are there to ensure that they police any promotional material, any advertising, and they police it to check that it sits within the guidance of permitted language that CAP set. So there are two organisations. You've got CAP and you've got ASA. CAP set the language and say the guidelines, and ASA kind of police that.
Mhm.
Um, on the ASA website, every single reflexologist should go onto the ASA website. And if you haven't done this in your career already, even if you're 20 years in, have a look on have a look on the ASA website. Just Google ASA reflexology. Or if you're an AOR member, you can get to it via our website as well. Um, and have a look at what we can and can't say about reflexology, because it is quite clear on their website what we can and can't say about reflexology. It says it in black and white, and it's quite easy to work out what you can and can't do. So refresh yourself, familiarize yourself, and have a look at it is my number one thing. However,
I like it, however.
however, there are things that we can do that mean that we can say a bit more or hint at a bit more without getting in trouble with the ASA, hopefully. So I'm saying all of these things, and this is another caveat that I might say a few times through this video, is that we can say these things based on our knowledge and what we hear and see and our interpretation of the ASA guidance. Um, what the ASA actually do, and if they get a complaint about somebody's promotional material, they will look into it and they will investigate it, and you will be contacted if it's you that's made the error. Um, or they also have AI that they use now, and they go out proactively. I know. And they hunt for things that come up regularly and that are problems on people's websites for advertising. And that's not just within our industry, that is within
Oh,
lots of other
everybody's.
industries.
Absolutely. I mean, they've got such a huge
Yeah.
remit, haven't they?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, we're talking from TV broadcasting to us as self-employed individuals, as therapists and things. There's a vast range of what they're looking at. So we are small fry to them in a way, but that doesn't make us any less visible or any less prominent in their eyes, and we still have to follow the rules. However, this is the best bit.
Good, good, good,
So
good.
when we're looking at what we can and can't say, one of the big cardinal sins that comes up time and time again is when people list conditions on their website. So they say reflexology can treat blah, 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 blah. And there's a whole list of conditions. Now, from the ASA guidance, that is not permitted. However, that's because you've said that reflexology can treat something, and you've listed a list of conditions because you're saying that my service and what I do and my profession can actually make a difference to that condition. In our eyes, if you tweak the wording of that and you said something along the lines of reflexology can support people living with blah, 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 blah. And you're not making an efficacy claim. You're not saying that reflexology is treating that condition. And as it's very important as well that on the same page that you write something like this, there's nothing that could be interpreted as being connected to that statement to say that reflexology is actually treating that condition. But you can say that you support people living with. A really nice one, because it makes it very personal, is that because obviously just skipping back slightly, is that our clients buy into us as individuals. Um, and that's something that's really important to remember. So when you're doing your website, if you say things like, some of my clients present with these conditions, so they come
Ooh.
for reflexology, they come for reflexology. And I'm not saying that reflexology is treating a condition. I'm not saying I'm curing anything. I'm not saying that reflexology can do anything in particular other than the things that we're allowed to scream and shout about that it does. But I am saying that my clients they come for reflexology and they present with this, 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 this. And a lot of us as reflexologists will find that we do actually almost uh we we kind of attract just have a little bit there.
Just turning it off very quickly. I'm terrible.
It's probably one of these clients that I'm about to talk about. We
No, it was the
attract
ASA, message from the dark side.
fantastic. Um, yeah, we attract certain clients, and sometimes you find that you get a cluster of clients all with the same conditions suddenly come along and things like that. And so in those instances, and when you're starting out, obviously just with the few clients that you've got, you can always say that you know I've built up my business, and clients have come to me presenting with
Mhm.
this. And so you can still list those conditions, but you're doing it in a way that's not saying that my reflexology is treating that condition. You're not saying that they're going to get any better. You're not stating about benefits. You are just stating that that these people have come for reflexology, but they've presented with this, and my experience is in this.
So, c t yeah, you are allowed to say I've got this wrong. But I'm just thinking, "Oh, if we can say that, and then if we also then said this." So could we say, and this is gonna be great because I'm sure there are people listening thinking, "Oh, fabulous. I can do this, I can do that." But I don't know if I'm now gonna be slightly overstepping the margin.
Okay.
You know what I'm like, Michelle.
You'll push the boundaries.
Yes. Yes, I do. I'm terrible. But so I have clients that present with this, that, the other. Are reflexologists allowed to say, and through the process of being able to de-stress and finding that reflexology helps with their well-being, they have also found that reflexology has been able to support them with these conditions? Or is that a little bit
No, as
too?
long as you're using the word support, what I
Ooh.
would state is that rather than saying support them with the conditions, I'd state something along the lines of support them in their journey with the condition. So
Oh,
it's not you're not supporting them with the condition.
yes,
And this is the thing to really stay away from.
yes.
Anything condition based, just pull yourself a step away from. Um,
Damn it.
Putting stress in the middle of it all, though,
Yes.
is a brilliant, because there is a lot of research out there when it comes to reflexology, general touch therapy, other complementary therapies. There is a lot of research where it's focused on stress.
Yeah.
And so putting stress in the middle of any of your wording separates the reflexology from the condition
Yep.
by using something that we are allowed to say that reflexology helps with. So
Perfect.
reflexology helps with the reduction of stress and tension. And then you could go on to talk about a particular condition and how stress affects that condition.
Yes.
So without saying reflexology reduces stress, in which case it then helps that condition, you can say that reflexology reduces stress and the reduction of stress has this impact on this condition.
Perfect.
So you could do something along those lines. I will throw that caveat in there again and be very boring
Here we go.
that we at the AoR don't know 100% what the ASA are looking for. Whilst on their website, it's quite clear. If they deemed something or they had a complaint about something that was not along their guidance, they can still send you a letter of warning, ask you to change the wording.
Yeah. And that's
Um,
exactly what happened to me. Um,
yes.
when I was, part of the CNHC, I had to, of course, be squeaky clean, and this will probably make you giggle. I had a page on my website that basically said, "Because the ASA say I'm not allowed to mention any specific conditions, here's an alphabetical list of research papers that show reflexology does work." So basically, I was just going, "Yeah," to the ASA. But of course, as soon as my mugshot went up on the CNHC's website, they just dived straight on to. There was about 6 complaints made the day I was
Wow.
appointed.
Wow.
And I got this urgent phone call from CNHC saying, "Change your website, quick, quick." And yeah, I got one from the AS. But as soon as I changed it, no
It's
further
fine.
action.
No. Or the other thing is if you can prove your claim
Oh, good.
and
I'm
you
glad you
can
brought this one up. Yes.
yeah, so you if you've got something on your website and somebody deems it not correct and they make a complaint to the ASA about you,
Yeah.
and you get a letter from the ASA saying change your website. I don't know what that letter looks like because I've never received one,
Nor have
thankfully.
I.
So
As in that, I've never gone that far
no,
to.
no, not gone that far to
Yeah.
see what comes in.
Yes.
So I would say that within that letter, it probably states, and if it doesn't, it possibly should, that either change your website because it's in breach of ASA guidance, or supply us with evidence
Mm.
to back up your claim. But you need to make sure that you've got a body of evidence. It needs to be more than just
Yes.
one piece of research or something like that that's maybe done on 5 people. That's not a body of evidence.
No.
You would need to make sure that any claim that you're putting on, that you are comfortable with the amount of evidence that you've got that you could throw to the ASA. And so what I would say is if you want to make some controversial claims and do things, and it's your business, your choice, your risk, if that was something that you wanted to do, I would keep a spreadsheet or a log somewhere of all of your body of evidence for those claims so
Yeah.
that if anything ever came up, you could go, here you go, it's all there. That's why I've written it.
Exactly.
And it's things like that. I mean, we've talked about this before. It's actually times like that where they may actually then go, oh, okay, maybe we'd allow all reflexologists to say this because
It needs that
there is a body of
precedent, doesn't
evidence.
it? The whole
It
of the
does need
British
that
legal
precedent.
system is based on precedent. Once one person has had something agreed, then that precedent
Everybody
is then
can.
set. Everybody can. This is it.
Yes.
And so,
Yeah.
I mean,
So
when put it like this, I would just also just say, because I'm now sort of thinking, being as this is my channel, we're not suggesting that reflexologists do go out to deliberately challenge the ASA
no,
and
no. Thank
then,
you for the caveat.
yeah,
This is going to be full of caveats, by the way. This is just a caveated
yeah,
video, but for your own protection.
yes.
It's
But it's a
yeah.
case of if you, yeah, I would say, wouldn't it be wonderful though, Michelle, if we were able to just get those boundaries pushed a little bit, because we do have masses of randomized controlled trials now, double blind, even randomized controlled trials. We've got crossover trials, quite a body of evidence that does show for reflexology to work on specific conditions, but what we don't know, because it's not been tested, is there enough? And
This
it
is
is
the
gonna
thing.
take a
It's
very,
what
very,
is enough.
very brave person to do this, and we're not suggesting that you do it, but if
No,
you
we're
are
not suggesting that anybody test the water, but if you feel what I would say is if you feel that you have gathered enough evidence and enough of a body of evidence that you are satisfied that for your business you could make that particular claim, and you've got that evidence there to back it up,
mm,
even better if on your website that body of evidence was listed,
listed,
but that would need to be on a standalone page
yes,
as well.
correct.
Um,
You've
then
been watching my videos, haven't you?
So the research would need to be on a standalone
That's right.
page,
Yeah,
not saying anything about it, but you can copy and paste the abstract,
that's right.
um, and it can all be there. Then you can use those sorts of things. I'm just going to rewind a little bit because one of the biggest things as well, just as a helpful hint and tips. If you were using things, for example, where you're saying, my clients come to me for reflexology and they have presented with XYZ, there is nothing to then stop you from on that same page having user generated feedback from those clients.
Ah, we've done one exactly on
Yes.
this. Yes,
So
go
if
for it.
if if people watch that video for more information,
Mm,
and also if you're an AOR member on our Facebook page, if you in the members community, if you do the search button, and use the magnifying glass. If you search for user generated feedback or just put user generated review or something along those lines into the search box, there is a post from Tracy Smith who has really defined how you can use reviews and feedback from clients legally, legitimately.
correct. Yes. Yeah.
So, what you need is you need to have the reviews on a platform that can't be tampered with. So that is generally either, sort of from my knowledge, is kind of Google reviews, Facebook reviews, Trustpilot,
That's it.
those type of
Mm,
platforms.
yeah.
Just anywhere where nobody has access to change that wording. You can
Apart from
then,
the person that wrote it.
apart from the person that wrote it,
Yeah,
um, but you can use those feedback and reviews. You can actually integrate those to your website,
yeah,
and you could have these. This is the type of thing my clients come like present with when they come for their reflexology session, and here's their reactions.
yeah,
This
exactly.
this
And
is
the
their feedback.
This is it. And the clients can mention specific conditions because they're not medically trained professionals. And yeah. So there is one on how to do a Google review, set up a Google review page, a couple of episodes ago. So yeah, you're absolutely right, Michelle.
Perfect.
And then of course do have a look at what Tracy Smith's said about it as well.
Yeah, exactly. There's
Mm.
lots of support there on the Facebook page about it as well.
I want to say that this is so brilliant to know that the AOR are also here with me, pushing the boundaries because you're a brilliant organization. You do have the very, very best interests for the members, but it is that careful balancing act. Just like we, both of us, we've been doing these caveats all the time
Yes,
because, of course, we want the very best, but also we don't want anybody to overstep the mark and then end up,
not at
with a
all.
little bit of hot trouble.
No, and
So,
I think that the thing that's really important to say, there's a couple of things actually that are really important to say. One is that if you are listening to this video, or you've listened to other ones of David's videos, or you've looked at the AOR's websites and Facebook chats, and you sit there and think, but in my training I was told this, or actually I've read this, or I've seen another reflexologist do this. Regardless what you're told in training, regardless, sorry, David, regardless what you're told in training, regardless what you're taught through books, reading, what you see other therapists doing, you have to remember that your business is your responsibility.
yeah,
And that is one thing that I think is really important to understand and and take on, and it shouldn't be a scary thing, although it sounds quite scary, but it is. It's your business and your responsibility to make sure that your business is legal,
Yeah,
compliant,
yeah,
and doing what it should be doing.
yeah.
It is a bit of a grey, fuzzy area, unfortunately, and this is why some people get away with some things and other people don't. There
And
is
also
also
they just haven't been caught
this is the
yet.
thing, this is the thing. So you might see something, but they haven't been caught out,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
that's yeah, that's a really big thing. And the other thing, just to really, sort of drum into people, is that none of us, apart from the ASA themselves, and possibly even the ASA themselves, don't fully know what they constitute as a breach.
Mm,
So, whilst they've got it quite clear on their website what we can say about reflexology and what we can't do, there is that fuzzy grey area that none of us are really 100% sure of. And it's that fuzzy grey area that could catch people out.
and we also
So,
don't know who their expert, um, panel is that advises them on when a breach might have occurred or not either. We don't know who they go to for advice, do we?
no, no. And are they actually an expert in our industry, or is it
Mm,
just a standardized thing? None of us know. We don't
no.
know the inner workings of the ASA. Um, what we believe that they care about and would have a problem with, and what they look for, is going to be a standardized list of conditions,
Yep.
and efficacy claims that are not user generated.
Yes.
So they are the two things that you just need to be very careful with, think about your wording of,
Yep.
and make sure that if you are using any sort of conditions, stating any conditions on your website, I really would strongly advise against a list. The way that you do your research with a list of conditions is fine, because you're
Mm.
just you know, you're
You're not making
categorizing
any
the
statement
research.
of
No,
efficacy at all.
no, you're just categorizing research.
Yeah.
But if you're using a list to try to say anything with regards to what reflexology can do, we would strongly advise against it.
Mm.
However, as I say, if in a paragraph you wanted to say that some, my I specialize in these areas because I've done CPD courses,
Ah,
or
yes, yes,
so
of
that's
course.
another thing, just throwing that in. So you could always say, I've done extra training
Yeah,
and CPD in these
yeah.
areas, and
On
so
how to support clients with,
exactly,
and there
and
we go.
that word
Not what you
support
say, it's the way
is
that you say it.
exactly, get the Bananarama in again. So it's, yeah, so you've got you're using support rather than treat, is a good way to look at it. And also the word stress, and putting stress in the center of everything that you're doing. So reflexology has been proven, and we are allowed to say that reflexology reduces stress and tension in the body.
Yeah,
And for this condition, or this group of conditions, or this type of condition, this is the effect stress has on it. And you could either do that as a negative, or you could look at the positive of what the reduction of
absolutely.
stress does. So you can do it whichever way suits you.
Yeah,
And it's looking at the domino effect in a
yeah,
way.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
this is another thing. If you write blogs for your website, you could say, "Today, I'm gonna be looking at how stress has an effect on," and then
yes,
list those conditions, and then conclude it with, "and how reflexology is proven to combat stress, therefore
precisely.
can support any client with any of those conditions."
Yeah.
What a
So
great
you've
blog to
thrown
write.
stress in the middle of it all.
Yeah. Do you
And
know
and
what?
the same with
Maybe I should write a blog like that.
it's the same with all of the things that we can say about reflexology. So, aiding sleep is another really amazing one to put in the middle of things, because
Yeah,
sleep has such a huge impact on our lives, and it's the natural way that our bodies regenerate and refresh.
yeah,
And so, putting that in the middle of it as well is fantastic. This
absolutely.
what does a good night's sleep give us? It gives us
Exactly.
this.
Yeah.
How could that support different conditions? It can support different conditions with this. Well, reflexology aids sleep and helps
Yeah.
clients get a good night's
Absolutely.
sleep, you
And
know.
how many of our clients have said after a treatment, "Oh, the best night's sleep ever." It's the most
Exactly.
wonderful side effect to reflexology that there I mean, if drugs had such nice side effects, wouldn't it be brilliant?
It would be amazing. It would
It
be
would,
absolutely
wouldn't it?
amazing.
Absolutely
Yeah,
brilliant.
it really would. So I hope that kind of gives a few different avenues
Angles.
and
Yeah.
angles that people can go down to work with
Mm.
what the ASA are saying. It's not trying to get around it or anything along those lines. It's about working with what the ASA say we can and can't say. It's your business, your choice, your risk, so make sure that you go onto
I've
the
heard that
ASA's
before.
website. Oh, it's just a parrot in here, I think. It really is though, at the end of the day, and I think that's something that people need to
Yeah,
really understand,
yeah,
and it's something that you don't always think about when you're running a therapist business,
yeah,
is that, you are running a business and it is your choice and it is your risk.
yeah.
The other thing, just to say, to kind of alleviate fears a bit, is that the ASA, if there was a complaint made about you and you got a letter from the ASA saying, this has been brought to our attention, can you please review your website and change it? If you either make those changes or supply the evidence as to why you feel that you haven't sort of done a breach um, of their guidance, um, that really is the end of it. Um, I mean, if they don't accept the evidence, then you'll need to then change your website
Yeah,
wording, but that really is the end of it. There's no massive black mark against your name. There is no big, scary problem. The problem comes with if the ASA do ask you to make changes and they are firm about that, and you don't make the change, then they will take it down a legal route and it becomes very public
yeah,
and you will be there forever.
yeah,
They won't take you off of their website. You will be there forever.
yeah.
Um, it's about not being fearful. It's about understanding that, you do get a chance to make some changes and do things to rectify situations should they occur. Um, but also just about being very aware of what we can and can't say about
Absolutely.
reflexology and working with it.
Indeed. Michelle, that's absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much. And the one
That's
thing I would actually just like to add on, and I bet you're
Yeah.
gonna agree, is that you don't know what I'm gonna you're getting all worried now, um, is that if you do make a statement and you do supply evidence and the ASA do accept it, tell your association, please. I mean, if you're in America, Canada, obviously over there, in Europe,
Yes.
tell them. If you're here in
Yeah.
the UK, tell the AOR. Because if you don't tell us, the AOR aren't going to be able to do anything about it. But if you suddenly get that precedent set, I tell you what, the AOR are going to be jumping up and down for joy, and I bet
Yeah.
whatever association you're a member of would also be the same as well, because
Yeah.
it will be a move forward. It really, really will.
Definitely, definitely. The other thing actually, just as, an addition, is that, you saying about associations and things, if you are a registrant with a regulator or with an association who has their own set of rules and guidance about ASA, advertising, and things like that, you do have to also follow their
Of course.
guidance and rules as well, which you will find that some are even more um, confining, boundaried than the
Others.
ASA. Yeah.
Yes.
And so it's just something to be very aware of.
Yeah,
AOR members, you just have to comply with ASA.
yeah,
That's what we
yeah.
state. But you may be a registrant with another organisation or with another association, and if they have their own set of standards for
Stay
you
the
to be
right side of
advertising,
them.
yeah,
Absolutely.
Definitely. So just another caveat in there as well, because why not just add an extra one when we've added so many?
Michelle, thank you so much for joining us today. This has been brilliant, and it's oh yeah, I'm super excited about this. And guys, yeah, let us know how you get on with this. Um, the other thing that I do want to do is to just put a little call out that if you have had an idea that's worked, that's helped to boost your business, do let me know on the comments below in the comments section on YouTube here. And if you're feeling brave, we would love to have you as a guest, just like we've had the beautiful Michelle here. And then you can tell the whole world what's worked, because I bet there are other ideas here. I don't have all the ideas. I'm not, Superman or anything like that. But it's a case of, what works. That's what we want. So do let me know, and let's get you on here and share the ideas around. So stay well, stay safe. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you from me, and thank you from.
Thank you very much from me.
Excellent. Bye.